during the years as a witness, I started to feel uncomfortable. I started to see things that I didn't find Christian. I heard language among elders and among the kids in the congregation. So I felt like I was an outsider, even though I was inside. Anyway, I don't want to go too much into my family because, as I said, my whole family are witnesses. My grandparents, the whole family. What I want you to listen to is how I got delivered out of this. I got married in year 2000 with my husband, and we have got 3 wonderful kids together. And through the years, we started to feel that it was hard coming to the meetings. And I mean, you work all day and you rush home and you get something to eat, and then you're gonna dress the kids and you're gonna go off to the meeting, because if you don't go, you feel worthless. You feel out of lack of love to God. And you've always heard that God prepares a meal for you every meeting, and it's not you don't show real appreciation if you don't go to every meeting and every assembly. And anyway, what happened was that we felt depressed. Me and my husband, we told each other that there is something. It's like walking around with a small rock in your shoes. You feel it's there, and something is there is something inside you that tells you that there is something wrong, but you just can't find out what it is. My husband starts work at 6 o'clock in the morning, so he goes to work at 5:15. And I just couldn't go to sleep again. I woke up because he was going to his job, and I was lying in my bed, and I could feel this feeling of frustration just growing inside my heart. And I put my hands together and I prayed. My knuckles were white. And I prayed to God, please tell me, why am I feeling this way? Why don't we feel happy? Why is everything so hard? Please show me the truth. I can't have it like this anymore. Please. I can give you anything. And that's what I said loud in my prayer. I could offer you everything, even if it means I have to offer my whole family. Now, I knew when I prayed that the consequences would be that I could no longer have any contact with my family. And that's pretty hard, you know? You got your mom and dad, I got 2 brothers, and one of my brothers has got 3 children. They're the cousins of my children. I have my grandmother. My grandfather, he just passed away, and we couldn't even attend his funeral. But we sent him a really beautiful heart with roses. And you know, it's not just, this is not what God is about, or to be a Christian, to shun your own family members. And I mean, you haven't done anything criminal or murdered somebody, or all you have done is that you have stopped believing in this organization, and you're treated like you have a dangerous disease. but I can feel that God helps me and my family every day to just move on with our new life and think about how wonderful it is that the Most High, the creator of heaven and earth and the stars and everything, he listened to a prayer, a desperate prayer from a desperate wife and a desperate mother, and he really gave me the truth. And I'm so grateful for that, and I'm so happy, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the whole world, you know? And my faith was strong before, but my faith is really much bigger and much stronger now because I've seen it in action, and I see it every day. And I want to thank everybody out there. I would like to thank Jason Zelda. If you don't know who he is, I really want you to Google his name and the Hidden from Jehovah's Witnesses videos. And he has done a wonderful job, a wonderful research in how the organization is working. And the crisis of conscience and Jason Zelda's videos were the ones that really woke us up. Then there is Kim and Mikey. There are so many people out there that are spending many hours to try to tell people the truth.
Good morning, everybody.
Howdy. Oh, what a privilege we have.
Oh, what a wonderful Nails and Coffin. Get your tissue. Might be a tearjerker. I know it's going to be very difficult to get through this one without shedding a tear.
This one in particular. In reference to the video that you just saw, I want to tell this dear sweet sister, I have a little bit of advice for you. Be very careful what you pray for because those prayers can come true.
And it's traumatic.
Kim and I know because we experienced a similar thing. For us, I think our absolutely breakdown crying moment is when we realized that we were part of a satanic organization, when the depth of the subliminal images came to our attention. Yeah. It was more than just the manufactured lies. It was the subliminal imaging that we saw. It's like, holy cow. Yes. So be careful what you ask for.
Yes. And thank you, Jason Zelda, for getting us the link to this dear family's videos. And it's been wonderful emailing Jessica back and forth. And you know that we already love you and wish we could give you a hug in person. And we're going to put the link to her video down below.
If you haven't had an opportunity to see it yet, it's really heart-wrenching. And honestly, you know, the scriptures tell us that you have to pray out of an honest and a sincere heart. And in this case, you can absolutely see and feel the honesty and the sincerity pouring out of her heart.
Yes, and we hope to see more videos from you and your family. And since English isn't your first language, you might consider doing videos in your native tongue just to reach more people, more of those leaving. So are we ready for these names now?
So what we're going to do is we're going to do this family first. And it's a family of 5, and they're going to be represented with these 5 pins in the blue right here.
Okay, so this is for Jessica, Richard, and I hope I pronounced this right, Emil, or Emil?
Hey, excuse us. English isn't our first language.
Yes, it is. Isabel and Olivia.
Right here, family of 5. This is where you occupy your position on the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, and like I
Right
said,
here.
their video, the link to her first video will be down below. Okay, second, we have another family of 5.
And we're going to be reading this story after we're done. Actually, we have a couple different emails and things that we want to read. So we're going to maybe bounce around a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but this one here
Is the purple and pink. So the pink,
represents somebody very, very special.
and I'm not sure which daughter is represented by the pink. It's the one that was the 6-year-old at
The
this time.
6-year-old. Wait till you hear this story, folks.
Okay, so this family is Raphael, Joe, Michelle, Anne, and Alexander.
Family of 5.
Okay, we have another family of 5.
Represented by the green or chartreuse. Well, it's not really quite chartreuse, but
Green,
close enough.
spring green.
There we go.
Jesse, McCall, Mercedes, Roland, and Royce.
Cool.
And this family was 5th generation JWs.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Then we have a family of 4. Orange pins is Sonia, Philip, Philip Jr., and Cora.
Cool.
And Sonia, I tried emailing you back, and it keeps getting bounced back to me, so I don't know. Okay, then we have 2 fleshly brothers, Jared and Jason.
And we'll be reading part of his story.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Okay,
Now, to complete the black,
yes,
we have 5
Okay.
singles. 5 single names.
Mary, and her husband is going to be in the old timers, so this is actually a couple.
Oh, actually, that's down here.
Okay, yeah, she's
So
in the green.
let's correct this. She is this green pin right here.
Okay, that's Mary.
Yeah. So why don't we just do her husband real quick so we can keep these 2 together?
Okay, John.
That's for you, John.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Try to keep the families together as much as we can.
Okay, so 5 black pins is Daria,
Cool.
Christine,
Right there.
Vincent,
Right here.
Gabrielle,
Right here.
and Corey.
Cool.
Okay.
Now we've got 2 white pins.
Okay, so we have Arnold
Got Arnold right here. Yeah.
and Marquise.
Marquis.
Marquise.
I think that's pronounced correctly.
Okay, and then we have.
2 blue pins.
Okay, those are both named Wanda. So we have 2 Wandas.
Excellent. Put the 2 Wandas together.
Yes,
Wonderful.
and I think that's everybody.
Okay, that's it except for some more old timers, right?
Yes, we got some more old timers. Okay, so we have Gail,
Gail.
Brian, Amy, Christy, Laura, and Melissa. Okay, now we
6.
actually have 2 more families, but they haven't gotten back to me. So Melanie, I just need to know how many kids. You said daughters, but you didn't tell me how many daughters, and your son. And so if you just want to give just their initials or their first name, email me. And Sheila, your emails kept getting bounced back to me. And so I don't know the names or initials of your children, the rest of your family. So if you could get back to me, you can be on the next one.
We'll put you on the top of the very next Nail in the Coffin video.
Yeah.
Now, I want to just say real quick, everybody, welcome to your freedom.
Yes.
And may your lives truly be filled with happiness, joy, and love. The joy and love that Watchtower says you won't have when you leave the organization. May you find that love, joy, peace, and happiness that they say you won't have, because we all know, having escaped this destructive cult, we are finding that love, joy, and happiness and peace that they say we won't have.
Yep. And Jessica, you're absolutely right. You know, I forget where the scripture is where Christ said that he would give us back 100-fold what we lose. And we have gained 100-fold back. So, you know, families like yours and all the others, we may have lost our moms and my brothers and sister and his, family, But, you know, we have been so blessed with so many more. And watching, you know, these videos of just such heartfelt pain and seeking of truth, you know, that's why I love Jessica's videos so much, you know, because she just felt something wasn't right.
And didn't we all?
So many others.
Didn't we all?
You know, some of us it just takes longer. I don't know why it took Mike and I so long, but...
Well, we knew there was something wrong, but
Yeah.
dots didn't connect until later on.
Yeah, so we just have a couple of stories to share, and I want to start with the family that is the pink and purple.
This pink and this family right here. This is the story where this is coming
Yeah,
from.
the pink and purple. And the mom says, I am a 33-year-old born in, and I started waking in November of 2015 when my 6-year-old, then 6-year-old, kept asking questions I could not answer.
Out of the mouths of babes, huh?
Yeah. Watchtower can't even indoctrinate 6-year-olds anymore. How pathetic is that? I mean, that is such an adorable story. I mean, we just had to share it, and thank you for allowing us to share that. But she does go on to say, my mother has since cut all contact with me, going as far as deleting my number from her phone. One day, though, get your tissue, you're going to need this. One day I will set my daughter down and tell her the story of how she saved her family from a cult. A 6-year-old.
6-year-old.
Like I said, this is a very difficult one to get through.
Because I got something I want to say right at Watchtower regarding this. Yes. Yeah. We all know
Sorry,
that
I don't mean to get so emotional.
the recent JW broadcast, my favorite little clown, governing body member Let, gets up in front of the camera and tries to reinforce the doctrination with all of the young ones working at Bethel. Without your help, we couldn't accomplish any of this. And for those of you that saw it, you see it for the pure piece of propaganda BS that it is. So I'm going to tell you something, Let. You can keep all those indoctrinated teenagers. You just keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to hand over all the 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds that are now questioning their parents. And their parents are saying exactly what this sister's saying. I can't answer your questions. So just keep up the good work, Watchtower. Because the more you do that, the more these families are going to be represented right here. So go ahead. Keep on spewing that propaganda because people are recognizing it now for what it is. And I almost will be willing to bet that this 6-year-old somehow, some way, found some questions on YouTube that Jehovah's Witnesses couldn't answer.
Are 6-year-olds watching apostate videos?
I would like to think so. I can't confirm that, but I would like to think that. Okay, now, Jared. He's represented by these 2 pins right here.
Yeah, him and his brother.
And his brother. And thank you for this. And I know that in this clip that we used in the beginning that she gave a very nice shout out to Jason Zelda and Kim and I for all our work and everything else.
And everybody else.
And far be it from me to steal all the spotlight. We're not about that. We're not going to do that. And from my perspective, I would gladly trade 1,000 viewers, subscribers, for another testimony like this. Because we're not about the numbers. We're about connecting people and
offering love and support for those leaving because we know how traumatic it is.
Finding our way through life once again. So I want to read Jared's email. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read what's pertinent to the point that I'm trying to get at here. Because Kim and I very much do want to share the spotlight. Message body. Hi, Kim and Mike. I am very grateful for all you've done. You've been so helpful in my awakening over the past several months. Then he goes in and tells the story a little bit. I'm going to drop down. He says, the last JW meeting I went to was last year's convention.
It was a doozy.
I wasn't fully awake yet, but I clearly saw the shunning videos. Actually, all the videos were propaganda. I couldn't be a part of it anymore, so I decided to never go back then and there.
So thank you, Watchtower, for your bunker videos that woke up.
You woke up people. Yeah. The more you try to indoctrinate, the more people see the propaganda. Because it's not about religion, people. All right, I go on. I didn't know about the XJW community yet. So I relied on my brother for support. And he was fed up too. He was going to a Spanish group at the time and went for a little longer than I did. Shortly after the convention, my mother was worried that I had been talking with a brother who had turned apostate in a nearby town. I told her that I had no contact with him or any other apostates. But after she told me that, it was like a switch flipped on in my mind. Wait a minute. I never thought about looking at apostates now. Okay, where was I? I slipped on my mind. I thought, why don't I look at apostate stuff? I knew I didn't believe anymore, so I tried to find that brother that went apostate. I knew he had made a YouTube video, so I tried to search for it. Then the floodgates opened.
Oh, yeah.
Dear sweet sister, in the beginning of the video, you're not the only one that experiences the opening of the floodgates. Yep. We all have.
Oh, yeah. And boy, yes. They flood in, don't they?
And boy. So this is where Kim and I want to share the spotlight. Floodgates open. The first thing I watched was, what's up, Watchtower? So Mike and Robin, you share this joy with us because It was your videos that woke him up, that really started the waking up process.
So you can share in this nail and coffin with us.
Yes, because you are very, very much part of this joy. Then you, meaning Kim and I and Mark and Cora.
So Mark and Cora, we're going to send you the link to this too.
And I couldn't stop after going down that rabbit hole. We all know for sure. It was so freeing to know that there is a community out there that is supportive of JWs that are leaving. Once I showed my brother, we both finally felt free and are living a happy life on our terms.
And that makes us very happy too.
Yes. Hopefully the next few months we will start posting on YouTube as well.
Great.
So once again, thank you and the whole XJW community for giving us our freedom. Jared and Jason.
Thank you, Jared and Jason.
Thank you. You're very welcome. And I probably will dare step out and say the whole XJW community, let's see, how do I want to word that? Thanks you in return. Or you're welcome,
knowing
or
Mark
whatever.
and Cora so well,
Yes.
since they're dear friends, and ones like Jason Zelda, we can say that they will be just as, touched at heart as we are, and Mike and Robin, and some of those others.
So, we know that there is a 2017 district convention. God, I don't even remember the worded program. I'm losing all that indoctrinated theocratic language, Watchtower. The program. And the title of the program is Don't Give Up. So I'm telling the entire XJW community, don't give up, because we're having an absolute profound effect on this destructive cult. So don't give up. because we are having the effect that Watchtower says or doesn't want to acknowledge that we have.
Yes.
Boy, that was a mouthful.
Yes. Now I have something else here, and I apologize that if I've already read this, because it's been sitting on my desk for a while, and I cannot remember if we read this in a video or not. So I apologize, but I'm going to read it again. Thomasina, thank you so much. So, she's fading. Took Mom to circuit assembly. First time I ever heard the announcement that the last assembly ended at a deficit of $1,400. Amount on hand, $5,000. So why didn't they take that and pay the deficit then, if there really is a deficit?
Well, I'm kind of wondering if they're not kind of like using this as a tactic to get more money.
Oh yeah, I gotta squeeze the rank and files for more money. Okay. This assembly, $17,000. Donations, $4,000. This assembly at deficit, $12,000. Lots of empty seats. The anger-inducing part was a demo where a young boy is invited to a concert by his classmates to a band called Day of Death. And of course ends up turning them down because the band promotes violence.
But they'll use songs from Epica.
Well, that's exactly what she says.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
And he wasn't comfortable with that. It made me think of Epica in the Cult Paradise video. It is obvious they people know about the Royal Commission, to me anyway, because the CO mentioned that we may think things are a mess.
Well, it's just more than thinking. It's an observable fact, Watchtower.
But it is like a boy looking up at Grandma's needlepoint and not seeing the top of it. From the bottom, it looks horrible, but Grandma knows what she is doing. God is working top down, and we are looking bottom up. Okay, for the CO to bring this out, and since Thomasina mentioned the Royal Commission, we just got the Australian Royal Commission, and we are going to be doing some videos on our thoughts about that in the future. But the thing is all of us looking up, all we see is a mess with the child abuse and the Australian Royal Commission. I have a question then, you dumbass circuit overseer. So do you honestly think God is looking down at all of this mess of the child abuse, and you equate that to needlepoint and he's seeing the pattern? No, I'm sure he's seeing the mess too.
Well, that's it, because this circuit overseer is inferring that God looks at the beauty of the organization, but not the deep, dark, hidden secrets. You see, Watchtower, I told you once before, don't ever underestimate me, because I see the indoctrination. I see the depth of what this organization has caused.
Okay, so she goes on. The theme was increase your faith in Jehovah. And it was mentioned that faith is a primary doctrine. I didn't know faith was a doctrine. I don't know.
Well, faith is a possession, so how could a possession be a doctrine?
Well, I think of doctrine as, like blood transfusion. That's a doctrine.
That's a doctrine, because, doesn't...
Or 1914. That's a doctrine.
Yeah, but isn't the root word of doctrine like dogma? Aren't those two words synonymous and co-equal and exchangeable at times?
Yeah. Where faith is
something that you possess, and something that is
an emotion
come
or
from inside.
Beliefs. Yeah. I'd have to look at
faith,
real definition.
Well, here, okay. I was going to save this for another video. Maybe I'll just do it now. The Bible describes faith as the assured expectation of things to come, though not yet beheld. All of us have gone camping. And when you're planning to go camping, there's one thing that we all look forward to. That's a campfire. It's the assured expectation of things to come. Now, within that campfire, you know that you're going to gather wood. And you know that you're going to burn that wood, and you're going to feel that heat from the fire. Faith, the assured expectation. You're expecting to go camping.
Things hoped for.
You're expecting to build a fire, and the hope for, though it's not beheld, is still very much real, because in your mind, you've already experienced it in the past.
Good explanation of faith, dear.
Because you've already experienced it, though not yet beheld, but you're anticipating the fire, the gathering of the wood, and it's all bundled together. And yet, when you burn that fire and you sit around drinking your favorite little drink, having wonderful conversation with friends, enjoying feeding the fire, faith and hope, the assured expectation of things to come, though not yet beheld. That's just the way I look at it.
Okay, so back to this. I counted the number of scriptures read, and the first talk had one.
One scripture?
Didn't they used to say convention talks were Bible-based?
Of course.
Many times they reference scriptures but don't read them anymore. The most scriptures read in any talk was 8, and that was the half-hour public address. Another comment I found very interesting was this. If you ask to move to halls for better use of dedicated funds, how will you respond? Now, we did a clip of that, from the, I think it was the Gilead meeting. There's a congregation in southern Colorado that has been dissolved, and the people there will need to drive about 45 minutes to a different hall. The signs are there, if you know what to look for. Morning and afternoon announcements were both about donating. The afternoon one a bit more desperate, just after the accounts. If you are donating by check, please make your check out to blah, blah, blah. If by cash at any contribution box, and if debit or credit, one of the terminals. Really? You mean you don't hand it to the overzealous brother at the door chasing everyone down with, wait, and handing you more programs than you need? Good one.
Good observation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we want to welcome the 31 new nails in Coffin to your freedom, and the 7 old timers.
Yes.
And if anybody wants to be on the new Coffin lid, just contact us through watchtower.exposed. Click on contact, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I am starting to get caught up on emails, so this is good.
Yeah, I think we're down again to like 122, 123.
Yeah, I'm actually down to
like
120 something emails in my inbox.
Still got a little ways to go, friends.
Yes. So if you guys need anything, since I had to cut down my subscription on my Dropbox, if you need literature or anything, just contact us, and I will do my best to try to help you, with what you need. And we look forward to doing some videos about the Australian Road Commission. I think better stock up on M&Ms.
Yes, and I also want to say thank you to Dallas, Canada. Kim and I are very busy. We don't always have time to keep up on what everyone else is doing in the way of videos.
Because there's so many new ones, too.
Oh, my goodness. Which is really good, because I've made the statement one time that I'd love to see YouTube get flooded with so many XJW stories and experiences that Mike and Kim videos are just lost. That's how much I want to see everyone else tell their own story. But I want to mention this. Dallas, Canada did a video, just a little short video. I don't even think, if I remember right, he didn't talk. I think he just wrote captions. And I just want to bring this out because if you go back and look at the district convention for this year, Dallas, Canada was mentioning a subliminal message, and I do want to concur, Dallas. I really do. Because if you look at the picture that's attached to the inside, which would be Friday's program, they have a picture of Tony Morris the Turd, all dressed up and smiling, and what would appear would be the Israelites or the Jews, maybe even fleeing Babylon after they were released in captivity, or perhaps the scene Egypt.
Who knows?
But what Dallas pointed to was the fact that nobody in that picture is happy. Nobody is smiling. They look like they're downtrodden. They're all looking away from, you, which would be the audience. You Jehovah's Witnesses looking at that inside cover. You're the audience looking at this. look at the people that are dressed up in period Israelite clothes. I mean,
leaving a great exodus.
Yeah,
I think they're exiting a smiling Toni Morris, and they're all sad. No,
no.
they're happy.
They're happy. So Dallas, thank you. You know, like I said, we don't have time to watch, and I just happened to be on YouTube on my PlayStation, and I just happened to see one from Dallas, Canada, regarding this particular thing. And I want to tell you, Dallas, that from my perspective, having studied and researched it, there is a very strong message that is being sent here that the Jehovah's Witnesses are feeling. No, the governing body is feeling sad that they're losing so many members. So with that being said,
yeah, and we did happen to watch one that popped up too that was recommended, and we do try to watch, you know, as many as we can of those that pop up for, you know, the XJWs. But there's a channel called Apartment 215, Melissa Brown.
Yes.
And we did watch hers.
We
And
watched a couple of hers.
yes, and the one about I believe it was the dress and grooming was you know, sad because it's so true, but I mean, it really was hilarious of how she stood up to the elders and the sisters. And dear sister, I know exactly what you mean with the black sisters, because they're like, that's exactly what they do.
But hold on, sister. It's not just the black sisters that do it, because we had a white sister do it to her one time.
Yep. A very white sister.
Very white sister, so it's...
so they could do it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. All of them do it, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
No matter what color, race, creed,
culture, whatever.
they all do it. They all do
Exactly.
it. They all do it. So we hope you liked this video, and, you know, our hearts and love and support goes out to all of you.
Yeah.
You know, because we know it is very traumatic when you're leaving. And so we hope, you know, that many of us can offer love and support to these families and these, you know, single ones that are leaving. And that's going to only do the best we can.
All right. So till next time around,
Love you all.
send her love and well wishes.
Bye.